Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for Earth sign Virgo and air sign Libra, and it will be from the time period of May 20th through about June 20th. And so I pulled all of your cards ahead of time for Virgo, and then after we do the Virgo reading, we'll do some shuffling and then get into the Libra side of the reading. And so after the live, I will provide some timestamps in case you just want to watch the Libra reading or you want to know where the exact times are. So I will do that later. But again, I hope everyone is doing well. And this is a general reading, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. All right, and always take only what resonates for you. And if you already know your other placements in your own individual birth chart, I always recommend everybody to also check their sun sign, their rising sign, and their moon sign, especially because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with one or the other. Let me just turn this down a little bit. And also, if you don't already know your placements and you want to find out online, I recommend, I think it's astrologycafe.com does free birth charts. And even if you don't know your exact birth time, you can still find out some of your other placements. All right, so knowledge is power, right? It's always good to know your other stuff, okay? What else? Yes, if you like this video later, please feel free to give it a thumbs up if you like it. It does help the channel, and it's a great free way to support. And it not only tells me that you resonated with the reading or you like the content, what have you, but also it YouTube's algorithm share it with more people. All right, and then the same thing goes for subscriptions. It's also free, so if you want to do that, if you're new and you after the video you're like, oh, actually that was cool or whatever, and you want to be notified when I put out new readings, all you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and make sure that it's blue and it's active, and then you will get those notifications. All right, so thanks again to all of my old subscribers and everybody. So thank you so much for your energy as always. And so yeah, let's get into it here. Let's do a little bit of the sound bell for some grounding and healing for the reading before we get started, for myself and for you guys. So just be aware it does get a little loud if you're sensitive or you're listening with headphones or something like that. And if you want to, you can just take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen whatever feels good. All right, here we go. All right. Hopefully you were able to enjoy some of that, because my dog was barking a little bit in the beginning, Miss Cleopatra. That's why I always keep a little music on kind of softly in the background, because if you've ever met a Chihuahua before, you will find out that they like to talk, especially if anyone walks past their doorway, right? So anyway, yes, Virgo, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Do want to go over a couple things in the beginning. So this reading may be about you, or maybe a person you're dealing with, or multiple people that you're dealing with, or your general environment situation, or it could be something about the collective unconscious, astrology at this time period. So always take only what resonates for you. And since, I don't know when I started doing it, but I've been doing a little bit different set of readings. So we're doing about one tarot card for each week or so time period. So again, from about May 20th through June 20th. Then we'll also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. And then we have a confirmation card, and then at the very end, we have an oracle card. Okay, so we were saying, and let me set my timer just as a general kind of outline so I kind of know what time it is. So we were saying for the first card, okay, the first week, it could be from about May 20th through May 29th, and I'll say it again when we're on each card. And the second card could be energy from around May 29th, right now at exact, through June 6th. Okay, and then the third card, the third week would be from about June 7th through June 13th. And then the fourth week would be from about June 14th through June 20th or so. Again, none of that is exact, right? So yes, it is very hot here, guys, on the East Coast today, and it's supposed to be for the next couple of days. So yes, my hair is just like, okay, we're going to do our frizzy thing. So anyway, you guys are like, we're not here for your hair, honey. We're here for the reading. Yes, absolutely. So let's get into it here, Virgo. Let's go ahead and call out your cards and then go in order. So we have the King of Swords in the right side up position. We have the Eight of Sacred Circles, or Eight of Pentacles as known in other decks, in the reverse position. We have the Empress in the right side up position. And we have the Six of Sacred Circles, or Six of Pentacles, right side up. Okay, and we'll talk about the other cards when we get there. But yeah, pretty much, right off the bat here, Virgo, you do have two major arcanas. Okay, so you have Libra energy with the Empress, and you have some Pisces, maybe even Scorpio energy with the High Priestess that's down here. That's in your past that we'll talk about later. So it could be that you're dealing with a Libra or a Pisces or a Scorpio, or you have a lot of that in your birth chart, or the other person does, with multiple people, or maybe it's even referencing time frame as far as astrology or something in the collective unconscious. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that you resonate with that part, just calling out the other zodiac signs that we do see here in your reading, okay, as far as the majors. But yeah, let's get into it. So in particular, when we start with your first card, but pretty much throughout your whole reading here, there could be energy from the recent past, and that will be different for everybody. So as an example, it could be a couple of hours ago, days, weeks, months, even years, right? That's going to be kind of underlying and what's influencing this reading to come out this time, okay? So we start off here, Virgo, with a very nice card for you, and a very nice placement in general, right, is the King of Swords in the right side up position. And I say that, Virgo, because even though you're an earth sign, you're still ruled by Mercury, right? We're still in Mercury retrograde, right, when I'm filming this, and even when this time period comes up for that first week of, what did we say, May 20th through May 29th. Cleo, you're acting out. Go sit down. No, not right. Sorry, guys. So officially Mercury retrograde ends on June 3rd, but its shadow that takes a while to come off will go till about the 18th or so. So it will affect everybody, and it's not always a bad thing. But what I was starting to say about the King of Swords here, Virgo, right, is the swords energy represents our intellect, our higher mind, our logical mind. Okay, so since you are, one of your rulers is Mercury, this is really great, especially during a Mercury retrograde time period, right? Maybe it's not affecting you as much as it's affecting other people. Again, it will be different for everybody since it's a general reading. But here he's using his sword as a tool and a weapon, and here more particularly as a tool because he's fishing, right? So here we see this Japanese man in the middle of the ocean, and he's going fishing, okay? But he is a king, so he represents authority, power, confidence, right? If it's not necessarily a position of authority, but just like a regal kind of energy and confidence and authority in themselves. This could be you yourself here, Virgo, or somebody around you. The sun just left, so I'm going to turn on this light here real quickly, just in case it doesn't come back. So we have some light here. I don't know if that helped a little bit. But hopefully you can still see the cards and stuff. So if I need to later, I'll turn on some more lights. Okay. So anyway, Virgo. So yeah, we're starting off your reading with this beautiful energy of the King of Swords, right? So it could be you yourself or someone around you. Guys, do you have to like play right now and chase the cat? Cleo. Sit down. Thank you. Good girl. Thank you. All right. So Yes, really great energy with the King of Swords. Like I said, mental clarity, using it as a tool or weapon, not sword. So using your mind is either a tool or a weapon. But the main takeaway is that the mental energies are balanced here in this first week, right? As far as your emotional body, your physical body, like everything here, or the person you're dealing with, general environment situation is very balanced, and that's what we want to see here. Okay, so. Let's keep going though. All right. So then we have really your only energetic, let's say, challenge or stagnant energy could be happening around the second week here, which we said was about maybe from May 29th to June 6th. So the end of May, the first week of June, perhaps. And it's not the end of the world. And you do happen to get this card quite often, Virgo. You either always get the Seven of Pentacles or the Eight of Pentacles in some shape or form. So here as your second card, we have the Eight of Sacred Circles or Eight of Pentacles, as it's known in other decks, in the reverse position here, okay? So this could be, wow, the lighting is so weird. It looks like it's almost like a film over the camera. This could be talking about, I'm sorry. You're going in the other room, Cleo? Yeah? Come here. You want to go in the other room? Stop. Yeah. You should. Go sit. Okay. All right, sorry guys. The Eight of Pentacles in the reverse position, also known as Eight of Sacred Circles. This could be that you are not feeling as productive during this time, Virgo, or someone around you isn't, or multiple people, general environment situation. Or it could also talk about a little bit of lack of confidence as far as doing something that you're normally really good at, a skill, a craft, what you do for work, etc., whatever it is, okay? Or the third option, it could also be that somebody is not recognizing your skill and effort into a relationship and job, friendship, what have you, okay? So there's just a little bit of this energetic blockage, but it doesn't last that long because, as we know, your third card following this card is really positive and beneficial, okay? So let's kind of break down maybe why this might be here. Okay, so this is a perfect time to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your two tarot decks here, okay, since we're using two different decks, right? So both of these top and bottoms from each deck is energy from the past. It can be energy from the recent past or way further back, again, a couple days, months, hours, minutes, weeks, years, etc. Okay, but what we have on your first deck is the Four of Sacred Circles or Four of Pentacles in reverse position, and the Two of Cups in reverse position. And again, this is past energy, and we're talking about it with your Eight of Pentacles in reverse here, okay? So it looks like on one hand in the past in some way here, Virgo, somebody let some of their control down. They put some fear down, okay? You do always want to see the Four of Sacred Circles or Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. That's a good thing. And it could have led to some particular side of either a relationship, platonic, romantic, etc., work partnership, what have you, or even different parts of yourself where there was starting to have better communication, okay? Because as we know in the Native American culture, when you see the peace pipe, the tobacco pipe, right, that, and they call it the peace pipe for a reason, because it's about having better communication to people, to groups sitting down and conversing and getting to a common ground or area of something. Okay, but it is reversed. So even though the smoke is reversed, it's like somebody decided, okay, I do need to work on my communication in some way. So I'm going to let go of the control or the fear. Okay, so like I said, that's how you want to see that card. But then on the other hand, the same side, right, what we have on the bottom of your deck here is that Two of Cups in the reverse position. So it could be that you started to want to work on communication again with some type of sacred union. So if the Two of Cups was right side up, right, it could be romantic, it could be platonic with friends and family, it could be a work partnership, relationship. It could be different parts of yourself coming together. But when it's reversed, it's like somebody either is giving too much or not giving enough, or there is a little bit of an energetic blockage or stagnant energy that's not making it feel as equal as it used to be. It could also, when we talk about the cups cards, represents emotions, right? So again, somebody's communication here is still off in the past, and so it affected one of these sacred unions, or it could be multiple sacred unions, right? Again, whether it's romantic, friends, or family, union of different parts of yourself. Okay, so this is kind of the background story to, again, why that Eight of Pentacles or Eight of Sacred Circles is in the reverse position. Why we have productivity being not as high as it normally is. We're not getting done as much as we want to get done, or the other person or general environment situation, or you are not feeling here, Virgo, or the other person, again, multiple people, is not feeling confident in something they normally do really well. Or it could be that because of this, again, that Two of Cups in reverse, that somebody is not judging you correctly about how much effort and skill and time you put into something, okay? Because normally when this card is right side up, this Native American woman is learning to make drums, okay? So she's working on this and she's doing a really good job. She already has some hanging up right behind her, but she's working really fast. Normally the Eight of Pentacles talks about a fast pace, so it could also just be a slowing down of energy and just something to kind of look back on and review a little bit before moving forward. So that would go in, of course, with the Mercury retrograde vibes of review, revisit, release, all of those things, especially with the eclipse that we just had, okay? But let's talk about also what is on the top and the bottom of your other deck here, again, in relation to that Eight of Sacred Circles or Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So here we have the King of Cups in the reverse position on the top of your deck, and then we have that High Priestess, Pisces, Scorpio energy that is in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck here, okay? So this could be saying here, Virgo, that in the recent past or in the past in general in some way, somebody maybe wasn't ready for a leveling up in some way, because when you have a king in reverse, it's like somebody doesn't want to take on the responsibilities of the king, or even not even just the responsibilities, but the praise, the money that you get being a king, all the fancy jewels and all that stuff, right? But it's emotional, because when we talk about the cups, it's emotions, right? So somebody in the past here, again, whether it was you yourself or another person, Virgo, was not ready emotionally to move on to the next stage of something, and there was a hesitancy there, okay? It could be because there were still some emotions that they themselves needed to process, or you did too, or vice versa, or both of y'all, or all of y'all, right? Because we also have the water at the bottom of the card if it was right side up, right? So again, the water and the cups represent our emotions. So, but then here, it almost acted, this King of Cups in the reverse position acted as a catalyst card, because then you have the High Priestess right side up. And so the High Priestess is all about intuition. And Virgo, I always compare, if you've watched me before, you know, I compare the Virgo official card in the tarot, the Hermit card, very much so with this High Priestess energy, right? So it is all about your intuition, your inner knowing, knowledge of self, secret knowledge, but is there transmuting also the light and dark that is within everything and within ourselves, right? And it is really like divine feminine energy as well, since we all have divine and masculine energies inside of us here. So it kind of, this High Priestess card is kind of giving almost the answer too, of like what was going on in the past just needed more intuition from perhaps you yourself, the other person, multiple people, everybody, right? We always should use our intuition when we can. But much like the Hermit, your official card in the tarot, Virgo, in order to tap in really strongly to your intuition, you have to quiet the noise around you, whether it's energetically, physically, all those things, so you can hear those messages and get your gut reaction to things. And what is my intuition telling you, and put everyone else's advice aside, and at the end of the day, you know, what is it saying to me and saying to them, okay? And how can we communicate that with each other? All right, so moving forward though, like I said, this energy doesn't last long, because then we almost go from, you know, you can't be the Empress, which is your third card, and that could be from, what do we say, June 7th through June 13th or so, right? You can't be the Empress if you don't use your intuition, if you don't embody that High Priestess energy. She is also divine feminine energy. Not that we're saying anything is wrong with masculine in any way, but she has planted seeds for the future. She's literally pregnant in this card depiction here, okay? She's mastered her emotions in a positive way here too, with the waterfall in the background. We even have the feminine symbol here at the bottom of her throne, right? But she is known also as the businesswoman or CEO of the tarot, right? So she delegates tasks, and much like a king and a queen, people look up to her for advice and all sorts of things. Okay, so but she is very smart in how she can, conserve her energy and have things planned out in some shape or form. We never know exactly how things are going to go, right? Because there's free will and things change from one moment to the next. But she has that pregnant belly, so she is like, okay, I do know that I'm going to have this baby at some point in the future, hopefully, right, when all things go well. So this is really beautiful to see also, just in terms of here, Virgo, going from the 8 of sacred circles or 8 of pentacles in reverse to then the Empress. So if you were lacking in productivity, you weren't getting things done as fast as you wanted to or you normally do, or again, other people weren't trusting in your effort in some way, in some things, some project, relationship, etc. Here it's going to come back, okay, and even stronger. It's like, oh, you thought I was slow before? Oh, okay, you thought I couldn't do this, or oh, you thought I wasn't putting in effort? Well, look at me now. Like, I'm the CEO of the company and I run the whole kingdom, okay? So very nice here to see here, Virgo. Now moving forward, we get to your fourth card, and this is the end of the main set of tarot cards here. But we still have another one to talk about too. We have, and this could be around June 14th through June 20th or so, right? Not exact. The 6 of sacred circles, 6 of pentacles. So much like that Empress energy, we also have balance, right? So Libra energy is all about balance and beauty and money. Okay, here it's echoed in that 6 of sacred circles, 6 of pentacles. Okay, so 6, 3, and 3 on each side, balance. But it's also about paying it forward, right? Charity, okay? So if there is, let's say you don't have money that you can loan to someone or give to someone, there's other ways of giving back, right? You give your time, your energy, your knowledge, your skill in some way. And that in itself, as some of you may already know, will make you more abundant in whatever it is you want to manifest in your life, okay? Because you're showing the universe, you're showing your ancestors, your spirit guides, what have you, whatever you want to call it, that you appreciate the little that you already have, and you're willing to also help others. And so then that energy is given back to you in kind. Not that that's the reason why you should do it, but it is really beautiful energy. I'm going to get you guys. Really? Is one of you a Virgo? Or are you jealous of Virgos? Hermes, I know you a Cancer. He's emotional. I don't know what he is. Cleo, I don't know what you would be. You might be a Libra. You gotta wait your turn, okay? All right, sorry guys. Anyway, let's talk about your confirmation card here real quickly before we get to your oracle card at the very end. So Virgo, when I saw this come out for you, I was so happy, right? And we all have Virgo somewhere in our chart. I forgot to say that in the beginning, right? So even if you're not a sun sign Virgo, rising sign Virgo, have your moon in Virgo, we all have Virgo somewhere in our chart, okay? So there's always a message for everybody here, right? Hopefully. So we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse position. This is all about, and this confirmation card is confirming all these 4 cards, this 4-week time period that we're talking about. Somebody, some energy, or multiple people is letting burdens go, right? In the past, carrying too much, lots of burdens, not getting adequate help or the proper help in some way. The swords going down in the tarot represent anxiety, worry, overthinking, being too much up in the logical mind. But here, this is how we want to see this card. Now the energy has shifted where somebody is putting down the anxiety, worry, overthinking. They're getting more adequate, better help with something if they need it, okay? And so that's really beautiful, right? Because if we're too much up in our head and stressed out about the past, the present, I mean, not the past and the future and not enough about the present moment, then we can't be the empress, right? We can't have the balance that we seek to manifest whatever it is we want in our lives, okay? So it's always really nice to see this Seven of Swords in reverse position here for you, Virgo. All right, moving on and forward, let's do your little confirmation card here real quickly. And of course, I set my timer and it didn't even work, but yeah. Let's do that. Where is the, okay, here we go. I already pulled the page ahead of time. So here we have, this is from the Rumi Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And so Rumi, I always say Rumi, depending on how you pronounce it, was a Persian 13th century poet. And so Elena Fairchild with this artist, I can't remember the name right now, made these really beautiful oracle cards. So they've taken one of his poems for each card, and then it kind of has like a meditation kind of energy that you can get into, all right? So your card for this time period, dear Virgo, is card number 18, and it's called A New Gown. And we see this person here, maybe a woman, or it could be a man too, right? No gender, standing at the edge of a cliff, and the sun is shining on them, and their new gown is kind of blowing in the wind here. All right, let me go ahead and read this poem here real quickly. All right, A New Gown. It says, weary and consumed by longing, I was caressed by my beloved last night. My wounded soul was set free when I tasted the sweetness of love. My spirit was lifted at once. I surrendered my life while ever flowing with joy, and my mission was filled with light. Love said, don't feel so hopeless, my weary and gloomy one. For my generosity is beyond forgetting those devoted to me. See how boundless divine justice can be. Behold my immeasurable kindness. Love embraced my spirit, and all my doubts vanished at once. A new and glorious robe of honor was placed on my shoulders. Love offered me the power of new vision and the transforming touch of divine generosity. Love offered me the power of new vision and the transforming touch of divine generosity, and placed the chalice of eternal wine in my hand. I have the perfect gift for you. It is a gown of new colors, of colors perfectly suited to you and no other. The colors of this gown will make your eyes sparkle and gleam as though they were more beautiful than the most precious of gems. The colors of this new gown will make your skin seem luminous as if it was lit from within. For of course it is, beautiful angel, your complexion is radiant with the light of life. Your hair will shine with luster, and your entire being will be complemented by this gown as it enhances your beauty in all ways. So hold on no longer to that shabby, tattered cloak, so unworthy of you. Cast it off. Let me grace your shoulders now with this royal robe instead, that you may shine brightly as benefits a royal child of divine As you may shine beautifully as benefits a royal child of divine parentage, like lineage. Okay. Parentage or lineage. Okay, so that is the poem. It's very nice. It makes me also think of, oh my gosh, what is that story back in the day? The emperor has no clothes kind of thing, talking about justice and having self-esteem and who's worthy and not worthy based on the clothes, or how we might show ourselves to others in the world in certain aspects. So anyway, let's real quickly, just the meditation part here. I don't read all the other stuff. As you can see, I skipped over a couple pages. All right, but we will do the meditation. So it says, place your hands very lightly upon the top of your head and say aloud, I cast aside lesser crowns. Very nice. Open your hands up to the heavens and say aloud, I receive the royal gown descending through grace. Okay. Slowly and gently guide your hands down from the top of your head alongside your body, as though drawing a royal robe over your head and shoulders. Allow your hands to gently touch the floor as though the robe completely covers you. Sit comfortably and visualize or extend that the most beautiful gown of many colors surrounds you. You may or may not be aware of the colors. You may see layers of shimmering lights, stars, roses, and more. You may hear the gown singing like a choir of angels or gurgling as though it is a fountain of liquid gold. Let it be as it is for you, as subtle or as powerful as it wishes to be. Whatever happens next for you is perfect. When you're ready, simply open your eyes, place your hands in prayer position, bow your head, and you have now finished your sacred honoring ritual. So yeah, I like that first part about the crown. That was really cool. I don't think I've seen this card before in a while. I cast aside lesser crowns. Okay, so that is even just that in itself is really powerful. So that is your oracle card for this time period, dear Virgo. And that is your reading. So enjoy this time period and always feel free to let me know in the comments down below how this maybe shows up for you. But now let's go ahead and do some shuffling and get into the Libra energy here as well. Okay. So I always like to put some crystals on the cards when we go from one reading to the next, definitely to help clear the energy as well. All right, so we did Virgo there, and into Libra. All right, so. Yeah, we got plenty of crystals. Okay. Let's throw it up in here and then we'll do the real shuffling. Okay. So let's start with the oracle cards. Doesn't really matter where we start, I guess, but so I think I said this before in maybe some of the other readings. I do cast a circle and call on my guides before I turn on the camera, before I do any card pulling. And so I always work with spirit. It is not me. And I always ask to be a clear channel for spirit's messages for that particular sign or for this particular person if I'm doing one-on-one readings. Okay. So if you hear me say like spirits, something, whatever, I say different things different times, then you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's, before we do that, actually, let's do a samba, all right? Again, for Libra, since we're on a new sign. There's usually dog hair and cat hair, so I always turn the bowl over. All right, anyway. So if you would like to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever. You can just listen. Just be aware too, if you're just tuning in and you're listening with headphones or you're sensitive to sound, it will get a little loud. So, all right. Libra. And also, some of the stuff, if you were here for the Virgo reading, I'll just mention real quickly again, right? This is a general reading. It can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. All right, so we're going to do our shuffling. So messages for air sign Libra, the balance scales. What do they need to see, know for May 20th through June 20th? Messages from Spirit for Libra. Okay, messages for Libra. What do they need to see? You know, if the high is good. Alright, messages for Libra for May 20th to June 20th. What does Libra need to see? What does Libra need to know? I'm only taking one of these cards, so I shuffled them a little less than we'll do the other decks, but just so you know. Alright. But we're still going to mix up my little fish pond, is what I call it, right? So, messages from spirits for air sign Libra, the balance scales. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Their highest vibration and good for May 20th through June 20th. All right, we got a card. So we won't talk about it now. We'll do it at the end, but we'll just put it aside here. And let's do the next one. Spirits guide my hands. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for air sign Libra, the balance scale. May 20th. Okay. Messages for Libra for May 20th. What does Libra need to see? What does Libra need to know for the highest scale of vibration? May 20th through June. What? 20th? Libra. Okay, messages for Libra. What does Libra need to see? What does Libra need to know? Messages for Libra. Messages for Libra. May 20th through June 20th, Libra. All right. I'm gonna stir it up here in the little cauldron or the fish pile or whatever. Okay, Libra, air sign Libra, the balance scales. We're gonna pull 4 cards from this deck for 4-week time period. Messages for air sign Libra for the balance scales for May 20th through June 20th. What do we need to see? Messages for Libra. What do they need to know for their highest good? Messages for air sign Libra. Messages for air sign Libra for their highest good. May 20th through June 20th, Libra. All right, so we've got 4 cards, and we're going to take the top and the bottom. Put that over there for now. And then I always double check with Spirit to see if they want reversals or what they want. Okay, so just give me a moment. Okay, they do want that one. Okay, they don't want that one in reverse. All right, so we got our stuff there. And we're moving on to the next deck. All right. So this one, we're just going to take 1 card, and then, of course, still the top and the bottom. All right. Messages for Libra. Air sign Libra, the balance scales. What do they need to see? May 20th through June 20th, Libra. Messages for Libra. Air sign Libra for their highest good and vibration. May 20th through June 20th, Libra. Messages for Libra. What does Libra need to see? What does Libra need to know? Messages for Libra. Messages for Libra. May 20th through June 20th, Libra. Messages for Libra. Messages for Libra. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Messages for air sign Libra. Libra. They need to see. What do All right, so let me push these up a little bit. We need some space. Okay, so this one we're just pulling one card again. This will be our confirmation card. But let's take a deep breath and stir it up. Okay. Messages for air sign Libra. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? All right. That was fast. Okay. Let's find out how they want this. It came out in the reverse position. And then before I forget, we also are going to we're going to take what's on the top and the bottom of this deck as well. Tick tock, tick tock. Okay. Let me confirm with them real quickly. Spirits. Okay, so as an example, guys, sometimes I will hear a no, and then I will also hear a yes when I'm asking confirmation of the cards. So I always will kind of regroup, and then I'll say to Spirit something like, what do I say? I usually say, please combine your messages for the greater good of all who will interact in any way with this Libra reading. And then I'll ask them once again, please, do you want this card in the reverse position or the right side up position? So, Spirits, do you want in the reverse position or the confirmation card for this Libra reading? Please combine your messages for the greater good of all and interact with this reading. Okay, so they don't want it reversed, so good to know. All right. Not all reversals are bad, right? But we always confirm. So let's go ahead and bring all of these down, of course, and see what we have here, Libra. And I'm going to take your picture. I forgot to mention that before. I always take a picture for each reading, and then I post it on my little Facebook page in case you want to see the cards more up close in detail or just reference back to it anytime. So if you want to do that later, all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there, and it will take you to the photo. All right, so let me I took one for Virgo earlier before I turned on the camera. So let's go ahead and just make sure we get the Libra one real quickly. All right, we got it. So, and we got music, we got everything. All right. So, dear Libra, let's see what we got here for you. All right. So we're doing the 4-week time period, right? So essentially from about May 20th through June 20th. So each one of the first 4 cards is going to correspond to a week's time or so. And of course, it's not exact, right? So we were saying that the first card, and I'll remember to try to say this as we go through your reading again, but the first card, first week, can be energy from May 20th through May 29th. The second one would be from May 29th through about June 6th. The third one we said from about June 7th through June 13th. And the last and fourth week card would be from about June 14th through June 20th or so. Again, not exact, okay? And then we also, of course, have your confirmation card that's different, and we also talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. All right, so let's go ahead and reset this timer if I can try to stay, there we go, okay. Try to roughly stay on time, okay. So let's call out your cards and then get into it. So Libra, you have the Queen of Cups in the right side up position. You have the Seven of Swords in the reverse position. You have the Six of Staves, and are also known as Six of Wands in the right side up position. And then you have the 10 of Wands or 10 of Staves in the right side up position. And it looks like here, Libra, you only really have one major arcana, which is neither good or bad. It just talks about this specific amount of change coming up, okay? So you do have the Hierophant card, which is your confirmation card. We'll talk about the meaning later, but this is Taurus energy. So Libra, you could be dealing with the Taurus, or you have a lot of Taurus in your birth chart, or the other person does. If it's one person or multiple people, it could be referencing a specific time frame, right? We literally only have one day left of, well, actually, it's yeah, it's today, technically. One day left of Taurus season. Okay, that we're in now, because starting tomorrow on May 20th, we're officially in Gemini season. Okay, so that is kind of, I always try to mention the other zodiac signs that I do see in the readings in the beginning before I forget. But it doesn't necessarily have to, maybe you're not dealing with the Taurus at all. Maybe it's not referencing Taurus season. Maybe it has nothing to do with that. Okay, so only take, like I said, what resonates. And also, if this, as we get into the reading, if you find it's not your reading, that's okay, right? Never force anything. Always check your sun, rising, and moon sign videos here on my channel as well, and the other buddies' videos too. I have like a list literally in my description box below that lists some of my other fellow readers here on YouTube too. Yeah, it, like I said, it could be a lot of different things. So always check your other placements. And depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your moon sign or your sun sign or your rising sign. And always check your Venus sign for even more info for matters of love and money and all that. Okay. Okay. So going into it here, Libra, when we start off with your first card, this Queen of Cups in the right side up position, this is a really nice energy. And this could be energy that started from the recent past, whatever that means for you. Could be a couple days ago, could be a couple hours, months, weeks, years, etc. Okay, but this is very confident, abundant, progressive for momentum energy right off the bat, right? The Queen of Cups in the right side up position. And her cup is right side up. It's not spilled over. It's not upside down, right? So the cups in the tarot represent our emotions. Okay, so she knows this young queen here. Maybe she just became queen, right? She's not gray hair yet, right? She is very passionate and creative. She's dreaming of the future, not just what's set in stone or what's set in the stained glass window, not mirror, but window here. And so she wants to change things in the future, also in her kingdom, to have things be more progressive. But the main thing is she's holding her cup. So she knows what makes her emotionally fulfilled, emotionally happy. She knows what her emotional priorities are, her emotional boundaries, right? All of those things. And just because it's a woman, that's how the card is depicted, but you could be a man, we're not talking about gender, right? It's just kind of how the metaphor shows up in that particular card, okay? So this is really nice. So this could be your energy here, Libra, or it could be a person around you that's inspiring you to get into that Queen of Cups energy. But also, let's say, since this is kind of happening right in the next couple of days, this first card, May 20th through May 29th, it could be that some of you guys are also now leveling up in some area of life, right? So it could be in a relationship, romantic or platonic, with friends and family. It could be in a work partnership or your career, your job. It could be in your health. It could be with your money, right? Something is leveling up to the next stage of something, okay? So that's really nice to see too, right? Like I said, very abundant energy. Now, moving forward, I would say here, Libra, that I don't really see, any like energetic challenges or either stagnant energy in your reading as far as this present moment or future moments that are coming up here. There are usually at some point for everybody. Sorry, I thought I turned that down. Go down. Okay. My phone like froze. Sorry guys, hold on. What? Volume down. Okay. All right, anyway. Where was I? Yes, I was saying that sometimes we have energetic blockages or challenges in our present moment and in our past in some way, right? We all have ups and downs. That's how life goes, right? But here, Libra, you're pretty lucky as far as this reading. I don't see any in this 4 cards, this 4 weeks coming up. So, that's nice to see, right? I mean, good for you. I got to see where my Libra is in my chart. I don't remember offhand, right? Since we all have Libra energy somewhere, even if we're not a sun sign Libra, or rising sign Libra, or moon have our moon in Libra. All right, but let's go ahead and move to your second card, and then we'll still talk about what's on the top and the bottom, this past energy where there might be a little bit of an energetic blockage, okay? But it doesn't necessarily relate or explain the current cards here in that 4 weeks. It can show maybe that some stuff that happened in the past was a catalyst to then bring all this for momentum and positive energy that shows up here in the first row, okay, the top row. So anyway, with all that being said, your second card here, and this could be energy around May 29th through about June 6th, so the end of the month, the end of May, and then maybe the first week of June or so, okay? We have the Seven of Swords in reverse position, and this is how you want to see this card, right? It talks about somebody, either you yourself, your Libra, or another person, multiple people, is letting go of any gossiping type of energy, any really, let's say, competitive energy within yourself or with others, okay? It also could just be in general, right? When we talk about the Six of Swords in reverse, letting go of anxiety, worry, overthinking, or just generally letting go of being too defensive in some way. So this is really good, right? And it shows progress. Because when this card is right side up, we see this Japanese man here at this type of carnival festival, and he's won all these swords, and people are gossiping like, oh, how did he win that? He doesn't deserve that, blah, 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 right? But the swords are going down, so that's the anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay? But as far as if he was going to use that sword to defend himself, he doesn't have 7 hands, right? I mean, he's not necessarily a Hindu god or goddess, right? I mean, maybe in some way, but he really only needs 1 sword. So that's why when it's in reverse position, is how you want to see it. It's like, okay, now he's going to let go of some of that defensive energy down, right? So you don't need to overly defend yourself, okay? You don't need to also, Libra being an air sign, right? You may have more tendency than others, again, depending on where Libra is in your chart, to tap into the air sign swords energy of being too much up in the head, logical mind, crown chakra, with anxiety, worry, overthinking. We always want to strive for balance within our physical body, our emotional body, and our logical brain too, like everything, coming more into balance. So this could be something that you recently here, Libra, have decided to come into, or someone around you, or an energy, or the astrology, or collective unconscious, but it's very favorable, right? Because it's, again, letting go of the defenses, not always keeping your walls up in certain ways here. So very nice to see, okay? But now let's just go back a little bit before we, continue on with the future, current, present energies, possibilities, right? Let's go backwards a little bit to see how we got to all of these really positive cards, right? So these cards down here, when we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck, is energy from the past in some way. It could be recent past, or it could be further back. So again, a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, months, years, whatever it is, okay? So on the first deck here, we have 3 of Pentacles on the right side up position on the top, and then we have the 4 of Wands on the right side up position on the bottom here, Libra. All right, and we're talking about it just because we're talking about it. It doesn't relate to any of these cards per se, because these were all not really, none of them were stagnant energy or slowing down of energy or energetic blockage. We're just kind of talking about the past, because it does matter, right? So we'll briefly talk about it here. So with this 3 of Pentacles in the right side up position, it looks like here, Libra, in the recent past, either you yourself or someone you're dealing with, general environment, was learning to work together with others, where you were all kind of maybe striving for some kind of goal, right? So here we see this carpenter-like dude who's working on repairing a church. And then here we see the master architect guy reading his book and telling him where to place things, right? So there are 2 people trying to work together for the same goal. Also, when we talk about 3 of Pentacles, it's not 6 of Pentacles or 10 of Pentacles, but it's a starting point, and it's starting to build. So the momentum is building. The abundance in money is building. Abundance isn't just money. It's what you it's whatever we want to manifest in our life and our world, right? So there was a striving for and a working together and trying to work more favorably with others in the past to bring together this common goal that you might have had with another person or party or corporation, what have you, whatever it is. Okay. And then with the Four of Wands here, this is celebratory energy, right? This is celebrations. This is a coming together. This talks about sacred unions. It's very similar energy to the Two of Cups, if you're familiar with tarot. So this would be sacred unions, whether they're romantic unions, platonic unions with friends and family, or union of different parts of yourself coming together, right? But here you see these three kids kind of dancing around the Four Wands, okay? And then there's flowers and they're just having a great time here, okay? But also these kids, right, when we talk about children or even your inner child, right, they more or less have an easier time. I always, people say like children and then people who are in their elderly years, right? Well, whatever that means for everybody, it's like the beginning of life and the end of life. So they have this freedom to themselves. Not everyone, of course, but when they're in their higher vibrational mode, this freedom to not care, this comfortability to show their real self. So if it is not in the recent past here, Libra, a celebration or a sacred union with romantic, platonic work, etc., or even different parts of yourself, maybe it's just also in the past, you or someone around you was starting to feel more freedom and more comfortable with something moving forward here, okay? Because that is the comfortability card, as I like to call it, okay? Now, on the other side, when we talk about what's in the past, in the other deck here, on the top and the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse on the top, and then we have the Three of Sacred Circles in the right side up position, also known as Three of Pentacles in the right side up position on the bottom here. So it's interesting because remember we had the Seven of Swords here as your second card in the present future energies, and then back here we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse position. Both of these cards, that's how you want to see it, right? So again, letting go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, having the logical mind work with also the heart chakra, our emotions, our energetic body, our physical body. So here, maybe you started the process, Libra, or someone around you in your environment did. And then you also, oh, I just realized, duh, ring a ding ding. Sorry, guys, I'm drinking the coffee, but it doesn't always work. You have a repeating card here, Libra, okay? You have, and they're both in the past position. Remember how I said the Pentacles and the Sacred Circles are the same thing? So you have Three of Pentacles and Three of Sacred Circles, both in that past energy, okay? So that's really cool. So when that does happen, it's very rare. So it's like 1 in 72 cards in each. There's usually 72 to 78 cards in each deck. So that's 1 in 72 or 78 chances that it's going to come out again in the same position. They're both right side up and they're from two different decks. So that's a particular message from Spirit to pay even more closer attention to it, okay? So what I was starting to say was that we saw here, Libra, somebody started to let go of that defensive energy, let go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, and then it led to, right, that Three of Pentacles, Three of Sacred Circles. So here, let me put that down so it's easier. Right, I said it's somebody who is working together with another person, energy, corporation, what have you. It doesn't necessarily have to be work related, but they're learning to work together, right? So he's the boss and he's the worker, what have you, right? But they're learning to build their abundance in whatever common goal they both want to manifest. Here is the same thing, the Three of Pentacles, Three of Sacred Circles. It's not 10 or 7, but it's 3. It's not 1 or 0 either. So it's like slowly the energy is rising, slowly the momentum is rising, the wealth, the money, the prosperity, whatever it is you want to manifest in your life. Now, in particular, in this deck, right, we see kind of the differences too of how the different artists depict kind of similar or same energy. But in this one, we see at the top, right, it's kind of winter time. We see this Native American hut here. And yes, I know, thank you for telling me, Timer. We see that bear and the evil spirit above, right, and in the clouds here. So that is about the Three of Pentacles is about juggling energy, right? Juggling responsibilities, common goals, building things, and priorities. But it's also like, how can I embody the energy of the bear during the winter? How can I save my resources, my money, my time, my energy to think and plan for the future, right? So because they gotta make all that stuff last through the winter. And then also with that eagle spirit or the bird in general, I think it's the eagle, but any bird, right, is they have the ability to see something from a higher perspective, right? They can see all, like when you're in the airplane and you can see the state lines and all the little, how the different houses come together on the roads, right? You can see this larger perspective of how everything kind of fits together, okay? So this energy, not everybody has this ability to do that, right? And especially not all the time at every moment in their life, but it is kind of supporting all these positive cards that are in the more future, current, present energies possibilities, right? So we can see that this work started in the past here, especially with that repeating card here. All right, so let's keep moving forward though. So we left off with that Seven of Swords in the reverse position, how you want to see that card, right? Letting the defenses down, the anxiety, worry down. And then when you did this, okay, Libra or the other person did, or multiple people, general environment, what do we have as your third card? Celebrations, supportive energy, community, right? With the Six of Staves, also known as Six of Wands, coming together. So here we see this Egyptian kind of scene of this guy on the chariot doing a race or something, and everybody's cheering him along, okay? And just also, real quickly, like that Four of Wands in the past, the how do you say it? Comfortability, how do you say that word? That comfortable, being comfortable with something in the past, because I can't say the word right now. And then also that celebratory energy, you go from the Four of Wands to now the Six of Wands. So even in just those two cards, you can see the progress again, okay? But this is really beautiful to see, and for timing, we said this could be around June 7th through the 13th, right? Again, not exact, but whenever that shows up, right? That's beautiful. And then your last card in the main four here, Libra, is the Ten of Staves or the Ten of Wands now, okay? So now we're talking about total completion of energy. Again, look at it, 6 to then the 10, okay? 4, 6, 10, right? Maybe it's some important numbers there for you, or looking up into numerology. But the Ten of Staves is about endings and new beginnings, right? So it's like this woman here, this African woman, she's carrying 10 of these sticks, 10 of the wands, right, on her back, on her shoulder. She also has a baby on her back, and she's got another kid in front of her. So she has experience, okay, as far as being a mother, doing the labor, the work, what have you, right? But they're all metaphors, okay? So eventually she's going to put those 10 wands down, and then maybe the husband or the friend's going to come in and help her build whatever she is building, right? So it's about ending of something, beginning of something new. But 10 is a completion number in tarot. So it's like, literally in tarot goes from 0 or 1 to 10, 10 being the highest number. So again, it's almost very similar energy to your first card in the reading, the Queen of Cups, right? So now leveling up in some area of your life, whether you go from being an entry-level employee, as an example, to now a manager, or you go from manager now to CEO, or you go from living with someone to now marrying someone, or you go excuse me, whatever it is, right? You're going to the next stage of something. Excuse me. So that's really beautiful to see. And that could be happening, more towards the middle of June, okay? Or maybe even to the rest of June. We'll have to see how the next readings come out. But really, really nice here, Libra. Great to see. All right, let's talk about also your confirmation tarot card. And let me just get a sip here of coffee. Excuse me. All right. So, excuse me. Your confirmation card that I mentioned before is the Hierophant. So that's that Taurus energy I mentioned before. Okay. But when this Hierophant card comes in, it is confirming all of these four cards here that we just talked about, the 4 weeks. Okay. So the Hierophant energy can deal with schools, in school like institutions, can deal with teachers, mentors, a spiritual guide, a guru, or if it's not that, if we think of just a priest in itself, right? They are also a leader. If you take the religion aspect out of it, right? So how this card is depicted, you usually see one person on each side at the bottom of this priest, okay? And they're coming to him for answers, okay? So this could represent here, Libra, that if you are in a leadership role, or even if you're not in a leadership role, but if you're in more of that royal energy of yourself and feeling confident, that people do come to you for advice, okay? They come to you for answers in some way. And this could be also that if it's not necessarily you yourself, but it could be right that you are also having maybe renewed faith in other people that represent those things for yourself here, Libra. So you could find a new teacher, mentor, spiritual guide. What else did I say? Any type of leader, any type of person that you may look up to, okay? But this is for momentum, it's progress, right? And it's in the right side up position. So um, really, I feel like for the majority of you, and it's hard to say, right, because it is a general reading, but if we just take the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Staves, and the Hierophant all together, it's like leader, leader, boss, boss, leader, mentor, spiritual guru, guide, right? It's all this leveling up energy. So again, even if you're not the CEO or the manager, what have you at work, or even if you aren't a teacher, a mentor, or a spiritual guide, again, it's about tapping into that energy of working on your confidence and helping others when you can, right? Because it goes back to that Three of Pentacles too, right? Learning to work well with others, even though you have different, let's say, roles, different, this is what did I say? The architect master, and this is like carpenter, right? They have different job titles or roles, right? But they both have a common goal. So maybe it's really just about getting to that common goal with other people, and feeling more comfortable with them, and then of course going to that common goal together. All right, so that's kind of how I see it for you, Libra. But real quickly before you go, because I know we're like way over time, let's do your oracle card here. And this is from the Rumi Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. So Rumi, or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it, was a 13th century poet. And she took some of his poetry and put together with these beautiful artist imagery to make these cards. Okay, so you got card number 21. So let me just pull it up here. And we won't read everything, but we will read the poem and the little meditation. But I don't read all the other stuff in between. All right, so the one that you got is card number 21, and it's the Sacred Phoenix Heart. And it kind of looks like, because we're talking about Persian poet here, almost like a whirling dervish kind of figure in the center here. I don't know if you guys are familiar, if you see that too, almost like a dancing kind of figure, but it could just be energy. So anyway, let's get into it here real quickly. All right. And hold on. Actually, let me get a sip before we start. Okay. You guys, all the flowers are blooming. It's so beautiful in my area right now. And of course, that means allergies more coming out. Okay. So, Sacred Phoenix Heart. All right. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides each lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. There is no way out. Love says there is a way, and I have traveled it many times. How I adore your defiant, rebellious heart. It knows that for what the mind is an end, and is for the heart simply another match to ignite the sacred flames. It eats of love until it is filled, and then becomes hungry again and eats some more, and again and again. It eats of love until it is so full that it must simply explode into a sacred fire of passion. It it bursts, it bursts incapable of sustaining old, it bursts incapable of sustaining old consciousness. In the expansion of blessings unlimited, lavished upon it through the great beloved's affection. It would be like attempting to fit an ocean in a teacup. So it does not. It bursts forth like a dying star into the spectacular radiance only to be reborn again, new and hungry for the next feeding frenzy and love's great banquet. Oh, how I adore your defiant, spectacular heart. That's beautiful. All right. So if you want to get into the energy of this poem, this card, let's do a little meditation here. Okay. It says, place your hands on your heart and say, this sacred phoenix heart is blessed. Through every loss, through every grief and sadness, through every mourning, this heart grows strong, ready to ignite into new life, into the dance that is not the funeral procession, but the rite of spring. This heart is ready to leap with new life, to be fused with the joy of innocence and the passion of the deepest devotion. How I trust my heart to lead me, guided by the inner voice of love, through all that could possibly be. I am safe. This heart knows the way, and I follow it faithfully now, into the light of a new day. Through sacred grace, so be it. Place your hands in prayer and close your eyes. Imagine there is love in your heart and that you can send a gentle acknowledgement of that love from your mind to your heart. As you bow your head towards your hands, imagine you are mentally bowing to the greatness of your heart inside of you and the love it honors. You have completed your sacred honoring ritual. All right, so that is beautiful. That is your reading here, dear Libra. Hope you found something from it. And always feel free, guys, to let me know in the comments down below how this comes out for you during this time period. But enjoy this time period. And oh, here comes Nefertiti. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi bye? Oh no, you wanna say hi bye? She said no. Okay. She might go sit in the window. Anyway, thank you guys so much as always for your energy and your vibrations. I really appreciate it. For your likes and to your subscriptions, if you already have or you're going to, I really appreciate it. Yes, Nefertiti appreciates it too. So yeah, anyway, you guys take care. And we will be back a little later at some point, hopefully with Scorpio and Sagittarius. If you want to join us for that, you're always welcome. But if not, that's okay too. So you guys take care, and I'll see you later. All right, bye.